Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and again big breaking news now from the current media. Reports are coming out now stemming from Dan Pollen that reportedly if Jose Mourinho is sacked by Manchester United, because we know he's under immense pressure due to our current form, reportedly now Manchester United with two other teams that are interested in getting Zidane, because we know now no longer he's a current Real Madrid manager. Zidane after with loads of honours with Real Madrid, after doing very well during his Juventus days as well. He won three Champions Leagues with Real Madrid in his last 3 years with Real Madrid. Did Zidane. We know he hasn't got any experience of managing in the Premier League, especially Zidane. But reportedly, according to Dan Bollon, that Manchester United are favourites to land Zidane if Jose Mourinho is potentially sacked from Manchester United. We have got the other two teams that are interested in appointing Zidane are because currently Real Madrid's manager's being sacked due to their bad form. I think they've got someone else appointed now, according to the press of Real Madrid. But reportedly, it says in the press, PSG and Bayern Munich are also interested in Zidane. But reportedly, Manchester United could hire him at Old Trafford for the potential job if Jose Mourinho is currently sacked. Also, there's been a few other managers' names thrown in the hat. I think it's also mentioned Conte could potentially take over Jose Mourinho. Obviously, the difference between Conte and Zidane that Conte's got a fantastic pedigree in the Premier League. He's Premier League proven. He won, the title with Chelsea in his first season. He won the FA Cup with Chelsea. He's also managed Juventus and won honours with them. He's also played for Juventus in his senior year as well as Conte. So that, and he's a very good manager because he did very well with Chelsea. That's the difference between Conte and Zidane. Zidane doesn't have any Premier League experience because he's been at Madrid and Juventus during his managerial career. And Conte has obviously managed Chelsea. So who would you potentially want to come in at Manchester United? Zidane has been in discussions with his current representatives about coming, to managing English football. Currently, at one point, his representative said he wouldn't come and manage English football. But reportedly, it says Conte could be favourite to replace Mourinho. Now it's saying in the press, Man United are currently favourites ahead of Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain to land Zidane as Manchester United's next manager. Because we all know, basically, Manchester United want Jose Mourinho out with his tactical game plan. His team selection's currently wrong. He's spent just under £400 million since he's come to Old Trafford on 11 players. I think he's had a dispute with a lot of the top players, especially the top players, as I've just said. And, Jose Mourinho just basically, I think the strappings of this club's basically too high for him. Sorry guys about that. I think the strappings of this club's basically too high for him, considering he's Premier League proven. He's won titles everywhere he's been, Jose Mourinho. I think the strappings of this club's too high for him to handle. I think his team selection's wrong, as you gathered on Sunday. Obviously, it's coming out in the press, as we all know. The current dressing room's frustrated with him. Some of the players are frustrated with Mourinho. Now they've got a dispute with Mourinho due to his tactics and due to his reluctance to drop Nemanja Matic, because I think the majority of the squad want to see Nemanja Matic dropped. Every time he's been fit, especially this season, he has been participating as Nemanja Matic. Jose Mourinho, he's been woeful, and Jose Mourinho, considering he's got a fantastic relationship with Nemanja Matic, hasn't said a dicky bird about his bad performances, especially this season, because he has a lot of respect for Nemanja Matic, because obviously Mourinho's working with him now. He worked with him during his Chelsea days as well. So in my opinion, Matic needs to be dropped. He needs to rotate that whole team completely. There's Jose Mourinho. Sanchez should have started on the weekend, as I keep saying. Lingard was poor. Martial was poor. That was the only shot we had on target, was the Martial goal. We couldn't string 2 or 3 passes together. Mata should have started from the start. He did bring Mata on. He's got £50 million there on the bench in Fred. That was £50 million. We only got three players in during the summer, so it was a disappointing window. And with the way we set up, the way we prepared was absolutely disgusting. We parked the bus and we basically played defensively against a Manchester City team who've got potentially one of the best managers, who's got a fantastic pedigree at Barcelona, Bayern Munich. And he spent £1 billion in all his managerial career, and he's got a fantastic philosophy, broken records, won 24 trophies in his career. More than half the money has been spent at Manchester City. Don't get me wrong, by Pep Guardiola. I think I said basically when Van Gaal got sacked, or, when Ferguson basically, retired after 3 decades of success. I thought, I appointed Mourinho as the next manager. Obviously, Fergie recommended David Moyes because they were both Scottish and he'd done well at Everton, but he never had a great pedigree of winning silverware. Fergie recommending he did bad, but I said we could have put in the hat. Jurgen Klopp's got a fantastic philosophy. He's proved it with Borussia Dortmund. And since he's been appointed Liverpool manager, look what Jurgen Klopp's done. His style of play is phenomenal. He's got Liverpool playing good attacking football. He's spent quite a bit of money. He's invested a lot of money into that team. He's addressed the defensive problems. I think Klopp would have fitted the Manchester United era fantastically well. So I would have loved Jurgen Klopp at Manchester United. The way he's got Liverpool playing. I also recommended Pep Guardiola because he's also a phenomenal manager as well. I'd have loved him at Manchester United. I did say Jose Mourinho, when Moyes I said after Fergie left, recommend Mourinho. I said after Moyes left, I mentioned Mourinho again. But I just didn't think it would have been this bad because Mourinho's got a good pedigree. We all thought Mourinho's a winner. He'll come and sort the problems out we've been having under Moyes and Van Gaal. He'll solve these problems out, spend some money in the club, and he'll get us back to the top or up there, at least competing. And Jose Mourinho just hasn't done this, so he's partially to blame. The players are partially to blame as well. You can't go to Manchester City and have a midfield with Fellaini and Matic. Fellaini, to be fair to him, he did very, very well. I don't rate him that much. We paid £27 million for him during the David Moyes era, marrying Fellaini. I don't really rate the guy. I thought he won a lot of headers against Manchester City at the weekend, so I thought Fellaini did very, very well. But we've spent the most money, all in all, managerials, over £1 billion. We've potentially spent more money than Manchester City, and we're nowhere near Manchester City. We're nowhere near on the same level as City. We're nowhere near on the same level as Chelsea. They've spent money. We're nowhere near even on the same level as Liverpool this season. We're nowhere near on the same level as the European teams, especially. Jose Mourinho's style of football is atrocious. I think his body language at the moment's atrocious. I think everything about him at the moment is just totally, totally wrong. And I think Jose Mourinho needs to stand up and take this, and realise he's doing wrong and stand up. Reportedly, before the City game, was in a good run of form. The performances wasn't up to scratch. We were lucky to win at Bournemouth with a late goal. We were lucky to win against Everton, in my opinion. We're lucky to win against Bournemouth. We're lucky to win against Everton. We were lucky to definitely win against Juventus in the Champions League. So look at all these, Bournemouth, we could have dropped points, would have been even lower, would have been in even more of turmoil now than we're in at the moment. We could have lost the Juventus game in the Champions League. We definitely should have won at Chelsea. That was points dropped there. That would have been a 2 points difference from now. And we're basically sitting 7 points behind top 4. 12 points behind top place, and Jose Mourinho says he's still convinced Manchester United can get the top 4. So what the press have said is, according to the press, Jose Mourinho, the expectations, he has to meet these expectations and basically give him a target. Manchester United, he says, Jose Mourinho, for him to have any chance of keeping his job at Manchester United this season, Manchester United have to get the top 4 and have to get Champions League football for next season, or Jose Mourinho's job is seriously under threat. And the majority of United fans want him out now because they don't think he's any good at the club. He is getting older. He is arrogant, as we all know. I thought, to be fair, he made a shock admission after Bournemouth, and I praised him for that. He made a shock admission, said we could have been 6-2 down in that game. But during his press conference after the Manchester City game, he says, look at the stats. Man United had one shot on target all game. That was from the goal. Man City had numerous shots. They played so many more passes than us. They controlled the full game. They had us on basically every part of the pitch. Defensively, Manchester City are absolutely phenomenal. They've only leaked 5 goals this season in the league. Manchester United defensively, absolutely woeful because we've only kept 1 clean sheet this season. We've only won 3 on the road all season. Defensively, this is Jose Mourinho's already in discussions about plans for the January window, and his main priority target is to get that defence area sorted out and the attacking area sorted out as well. So his team selection was currently wrong at the weekend. Fred should have been playing. He should have been Fred. We know Pogba was injured. So Mourinho explained, I had to put Fellaini there because Pogba was absent. That's not the point. He could have put Pereira there. He could have put Fred there. and he hasn't done it. He needs to give Pereira the chance in that midfield as Jose Mourinho. There is no midfield with Matic and Fellaini, and this is what he needs to think on after the international break against Palace and get the team selection right. And then maybe when he does get the team selection right and gets the tactics right, barks the correct orders on that touchline, and the team are still not performing well, then you can blame the team, not the manager. But Jose Mourinho, for me, is still playing players slightly out of position. You know, just like David Moyes did, he used to bring the wrong substitutions on. He had no plan B. He didn't have a clue what he's doing. Same with David Moyes. Now, Mourinho's doing the exactly comparable same thing. He's playing some players out of position. He hasn't got a plan B. He's paid money for Fred. He isn't playing him that often as he should be. You know, this is what Jose Mourinho has to sit down and think on and realise what he's doing. And for me, we've still got Arsenal and Liverpool to come. We can't play defensively against Arsenal and Liverpool. And that's the most important thing, because Liverpool are phenomenal this season in the Premier League, haven't lost. Arsenal, you know, they're not the best. They've got good players like Lacazette and Aubameyang, a great number 9 who I'd have loved at Manchester United. You know, I'd have preferred him over Lukaku. I think he's a good manager, to be quite fair with me. Good experience with Paris Saint-Germain and Sevilla. So he's had experience being in Spain and France, and also Valencia as well. But I think Arsenal are still basically now 14, 15 games undefeated. So, you know, we can't play defensively against them. Mourinho, why does he bottle it in the big games? You can't play defensively. You don't play defensively at all, but in the big games, you especially don't play defensively. You play an attacking formation. You play attackively. You can't play defensively against teams like Manchester City, you know, because basically now they're the best team in English football. Let's be honest about it. The money they've spent, the way they're playing, the way they score goals, the way they pass the ball, you know, they've just got potentially world-class players, and they've done this. The Manchester City have done this without even Kevin De Bruyne in the team, because he's currently out till December. So they're still scoring goals for fun. Imagine if Kevin De Bruyne was in that team, how well they'd be playing. You know, potentially for me, he's the best midfielder in the Premier League, without a shadow of a doubt as well. But you know, we could still see a few players leave in the January window. Herrera coming to an end of his contract. Hasn't started much from the start of this season. He's been making substitution appearances, but it's fair, he has played well. Sunday he was shit in that midfield, because I don't think it works out with Herrera alongside Matic and Fellaini in the midfield. I think if Herrera was alongside Pogba, Pogba wasn't playing, but just imagine if he was alongside Pogba, or Matic, Pogba, or Pereira, you know, I think, you know, Herrera had established himself and played better. But obviously, there was no creativeness in that midfield because there was no midfield there. The front three couldn't get the ball fed to them enough because the midfield was so static and slow. We caused City no problems whatsoever in that game. Lukaku hasn't been in great form this season. You know, came on the Man City game, fair enough, won as the penalty. For me, everyone says about him being a good game bottler. He was very, very good last season. He was good in his Everton days, to be fair to him. He's also been at Anderlecht as well. And he was okay at Chelsea. But for me, I think Manchester United could have potentially got a better number 9 than him. I think we need someone else up there with Lukaku for us to score goals for absolute 100%. We know Rashford and Martial have been full in this spot. But for me, players, as I said, Herrera, Man United are in talks with Herrera. Man United are reportedly in talks of signing Herrera a new deal and Mata a new deal, because they're coming to the end of the contract as well. I think potentially Herrera could stay at the club, to be quite fair. He has been here since 2014 when we got him from Atletico Bilbao. Juan Mata, not too sure about him. I think he's better in the middle than he is on the right-hand side. Do I think Juan Mata will stay? Not too sure about Juan Mata. He said Arsenal could make a move for him on a free transfer next summer. Juan Mata. Obviously, Umeme is looking to reunite with Juan Mata, because obviously Juan Mata used to play with him in Valencia for like 4 or 5 years, was it? Made 174 appearances. Good in his Chelsea days. I still think he's a very, very good, consistent player. He's Juan Mata, you know, he's good in the air. I don't think he has that much genuine pace to his game, Juan Mata, but I think he can play very, very well. Can Mata, very, very consistent player, to be quite fair. And he was up the ranks for Real Madrid, and reportedly Umeme is interested in Juan Mata, but if Man United were to sanction him off, they'd rather cash in for him in January. But I said these players want to be here and play, and, you know, they want to be here to be competing and challenging for silverware, because this is overall what this club's all about. With the history we've had under Fergie, with the amount of Premier League titles we've won, under Fergie, we were playing on world stages, and we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. I thought we'd have had a Premier League now on the board by now, especially with me. If first got appointed manager, I thought we'd have won it within the first couple of years. We haven't done that. We haven't even competed. Last season, we finished second, but we lost the title by about 19, 20 points last season. But yeah, as I said, and also, Ashley Young, also Man United have been talks about signing him as well, a further 1-year deal. Same with Valencia. Valencia we've had for like a decade now, so he's experienced a good times Manchester United. He's an essential right back. Very, very good indeed. He's currently injured at the moment. We've got Ashley Young. He's a very, very good, but I think he's more of a right winger, as I've told you so many times. For England, played as a right wing. In his Aston Villa days, played as a right wing. He's been at United now for 7-8 years, but we do have the option to extend his contract by a further year as well. I think he's age 33 now, so he is aging up his Aston. I think Valencia's aging about 33, 34 as well. And that right back position, I'd give Doylett the chance in that right back position as well. We know Doylett's recently suffered a knock injury, but I think Mourinho needs to give Doylett the chance at that full back position as well. So Mourinho, he needs to take responsibility, see what he's doing wrong, try and fix it up. He should know this team now off by heart, because he has been here now for 3 seasons. He should know what the team are doing wrong and what the team are doing right, and it's down to him to make the correct. He should have a good plan B. He should pick the right team selection, and this is what Jose Mourinho should be. It's not like the first season where he's just come in and he's getting used to how the team play and he's getting used to how the team play. This is not his first season now. It's not like he's just coming in a newer era. He's experiencing what to do. He's planning out what plans he's going to do to sort the team out. He's been here now 3 years, so he should know how the team are playing, what players to put in what positions. He should know. He should have a good plan B. Jose Mourinho should know by now because he's had a fantastic history, as I said. And his style of football is atrocious. His managerial style at this club is absolutely horrendous at this moment in time. And he's only won 3 trophies since he's come to the club as Jose Mourinho. And his trophies potentially, consider the amount of money Man United have spent. Man United shouldn't be. We won the Europa League, fair enough, but we should have never been in the Europa League under Jose Mourinho. With the amount of money we've spent as well, we should be up there competing at least like we used to do under the Fergie days. But obviously this team's a lot different now to Fergie. I love the days as a Manchester United supporter. Always being red, always will be. When we had Scholes, great legends like Scholes, Michael Carrick, Ryan Giggs, fantastic legend. When we had players like Van Nistelrooy, Tevez, Ronaldo, Cantona, David Beckham, Vidic and Ferdinand were an absolutely fantastic centre-back partnership. That's when Manchester United were potentially one of the best teams. Not just in English. Overall, we are the best team in English football still because we've won the most titles, but we're not now. But when we had Fergie, we was the best team in English football. Now, and we was potentially one of the best teams in the world. But now, my opinion, Manchester United are not even in the top 10. Not even in the top 10 as potentially the best. But, maybe not even in the top fucking 20 the way it's going at this moment in time. At least, I hate City. I hate losing full stop. But I don't mind losing a game as long as we go out, show some art, show some passion, show some desire. And we give it a go. We tried as hard. It's just one of them days. It didn't work out. We move on to the next game. Jose Mourinho picks the right selection as well. We lose. We show our heart and desire. We play well. We show creativeness. Jose Mourinho picks the right team selection. And it would have had to be. We lost the game. You know what I'd have done? I'd have been disappointed. We lost, but at least we give it a go. Jose Mourinho made the right selections. I'd have been happy with that. But that wasn't the case. Performance woeful because Jose Mourinho defensively picks the current wrong team. So the team that's to blame for the performance, and the manager is more to blame for the wrong team selection. It wasn't the case. So, against Crystal Palace after the international break, there'll be definitely more things updating in the press of what's going on. Whether Jose Mourinho's going to last, whether Jose Mourinho's not going to last. We can't afford any more defeats this season now. We cannot afford any more defeats. We've lost 4 games out of 12 this season. We've conceded 21 goals. Even last season, with Mourinho at the start. It wasn't even as bad as this season. It was nowhere near as bad as this season. We didn't concede 21 goals in his first 12 games. I think we conceded 18 in his first 25 games last season. So it just proves how bad our goal difference is this season as well. But Mourinho definitely, even though he's got a great relationship with Matic, he needs to drop Nemanja Matic. It's as simple as that. You can put 3 players in his position, do it against Crystal Palace, drop Nemanja Matic, put Pereira there, put Pereira there, maybe put Fellaini there. Potentially put what am I going to say? Lost for words. Put Pereira there, put Fellaini there, or Paul Pogba there. It's simple as that. This is what Jose Mourinho needs to understand, or even Herrera as well. Just drop Nemanja Matic. It's not rocket science. This is why the dressing room are frustrated with Jose Mourinho. This is why they're really frustrated with Mourinho. Mourinho needs to look on and turn it around. De Gea also coming to an end of his deal. Hasn't signed this contract extension yet. Mourinho said he wasn't too convinced he was going to sign this contract extension. I think David De Gea will be happy to stay as long as we're up there competing. I think he will be happy to stay as long as we're up there competing. Essentially the best goalkeeper in the world. He saved us in so many games. He was very, very good in Spain with Atletico Madrid, where he'd risen up the ranks. Madrid would interest him due, obviously the sub their interest Real Madrid due to that they got Courtois, Real Madrid. But potentially David De Gea will be demanding a higher salary, as we all know, if he is to sign this extension. Representatives have been in discussions about securing him this contract extension at Manchester United. So basically we'll have to see what happens about that. I'm still confident he will sign his contract extension. I just think it's just a matter of time before he does. Centre-back, Mourinho's looking to offload Rojo and Eric Bailly. Eric Bailly, very, very good since we've had him from Villarreal in 2016. Or 2015. It was 2016, I think. Bailly, £30 million. Mourinho's looking to sanction him off alongside Rojo because they can't even get into the Manchester United team at the moment. Bailly has suffered some injury problems quite a few times since his arrival at Old Trafford. He's only scored 1 goal in the Premier League. Come out in the press the other week that AC Milan were interested in the player. For me, Eric Bailly, very, very good composed, strong tackler, very, very good defender. Potentially, he is basically our best defender, but at the moment, he's our best centre-back at this moment in time, but he can't even get into the team. I think Lindelof's improved to be quite fair. He won the Player of the Year. Did Lindelof, Swedish Player of the Year. He got nominated for that. Jones as well, I can't remember the last time he played. He's on a 12-month contract extension as well. I don't think Man United have him signing his contract extension yet. The player we've had since Blackburn, so he has been here about 7 years or something like that as Phil Jones. But obviously Mourinho's been selecting lately Smalling and Victor Lindelof and Smalling as a centre-back partnership. So there's numerous players at Manchester United now that are coming to the end of the deals. Martial, as I said, he's been withdrawn from the France squad with Lacazette and Paul Pogba. England play tonight as well, don't they? I do like international football, but I don't particularly really care about England, to be honest. I support them. I will watch them. I like the World Cup, to be fair, but I prefer my club football a lot more as well. But like I said, Martial, as I said, his agent's been in discussions about signing him a new contract. He currently turned the previous one down. Reportedly, it said in the press the other day, he was on the brink of signing a new deal at Manchester United, was Antonio Martial. This was a 5-year deal, £45 million a year, which probably would make him one of the highest players to play at Manchester United, alongside, obviously, Alexis Sanchez. To be fair, Martial's been potentially our best player recently because he scored 5 goals in his last 6 games for United. So he's been fantastic, when he's been in that centre spot, fulfilling Lukaku's spot. And that left-hand side, I think he's playing very, very well as well. I think he's playing very, very well as well. You heard the rumours about Sanchez earlier on. Reportedly, PSG are linked with him. He hasn't made an impact since he's come to Old Trafford. We know he's versatile. He can play numerous positions, but he reportedly said in the press that currently Sanchez's representatives had been in discussions with Real Madrid. So it's a potentially he could make a move to Madrid. It could potentially get sanctioned off in the January transfer window, so then Mourinho will have to look for a replacement for Alexis Sanchez. For me, he's Premier League proven. He's proven it with Arsenal in the past. He's only been here since January, so sometimes, as I said, it does take players time to settle in. It took Lindelof time to settle in, and he's improved this season, to be fair to Lindelof. So it may take Sanchez time. Would you give him a bit more time? He isn't gelling well in the team at the moment, Alexis Sanchez. He's finding it hard to create. He's finding it hard to score goals. He's provided a couple of assists, to be fair to him. But he was good in his Barcelona days, in his under-knees days, was Alexis Sanchez. He's on £500,000 a week. Is Alexis Sanchez, so potentially the highest paid player in English football. And he's just showing no effort, no character, nothing at Manchester United. As I said, Sanchez is showing nothing. So potentially he could be leaving in the January window, could Sanchez as well. So Mourinho's after an attacker. He's after a central defender. He's having discussions now with Ed Woodward, blah, 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 about talks for what's going to be happening in the January window. But we, Manchester United, big, massive club, always will be. You know, this 11, if Jose Mourinho can reveal his best 11, you know, either all, the money that's been put into that club, you know, that team is at least good enough on paper to get the top 4 this season. For me, top 4 is better than nothing. But for me, we didn't win out last season. We got to the FA Cup final. We didn't win out because we lost the FA Cup final. So we were trophyless last season. This season, we need to get some silverware. Try and get some silverware on the board at least. We're not going to win the Premier League. FA Cup in January. We can't win the League Cup because we're out. FA Cup in January, got to try and go for that again this season. Try and progress in the Champions League. I can't see us doing that because there's too many European teams that are too strong, who've got too many good players in the side. And Manchester United are nowhere near on that same level as them teams. So let's potentially get it this way. The best team in the Premier League and English football is Manchester City. The best team in Italy is Juventus. The best team in Spain is presumably Barcelona or Real Madrid or whatever. Obviously, people say Barcelona aren't as good as used to be. The best team in Scotland, without a doubt, is Celtic. You know? But for me, the best team in the Premier League are Manchester City. Without a shadow of a doubt, they are the best team in the Premier League. World-class players. You know, money talked. Everyone says Manchester City have purchased it. Yes, they have purchased it because money talked. They have purchased it. But basically, when we had Fergie, we spent a lot of money on players under Alex Ferguson. So we bought the title. You know, Leicester spent money. They won the title back in 2016. You know, you've got to spend money to be up there competing. And Manchester United have spent the money, and we're still not up there competing, all because of Jose Mourinho. That's it. And I just think, with the disputes he's had with the top players especially, I just don't think they're playing him. They're not playing to the potential level that we should be playing him. So there's rumours about Conte coming in, reportedly. Good experience said in the Premier League. Now the rumours have stemmed. By the way, their report stemmed from Italy that Conte replaced Jose Mourinho. Now there's another name, Zidane. Reportedly, that's coming from the Spanish outlet, Dan Bollen, that reportedly Man United are favourites to land Zidane if Jose Mourinho gets shown the exit door. So potentially he is the favourite to take over. Manchester United are the favourite to land Zidane because obviously he's jobless now because he's no longer managing Real Madrid. So Zidane probably, maybe, presumably interested in this. I think he may have more discussions with his representatives about these rumours that are stemming from, you know, the Spanish outlet. I like Zidane. I do like Zidane. You know, he's obviously managed Madrid. I don't think he's got an experience of managing in the Premier League, to be quite fair. Because he's been at Madrid, basically. He was at Madrid for absolutely years and years and years. But in terms of silverware, he's won loads and loads of silverware during his career as Zidane as well. So potentially, who would you like to come in at Manchester United? I don't know. It's also said in the press that Real Madrid have reportedly been interested in eyeing Pochettino to go to Real Madrid as well. But yeah, I'd like to know your opinions on this, guys. Put your comments and likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe, and I'll be back soon with some more videos. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you all again very soon. Peace.